And welcome back to the top 10 best movies of 2017. I'm going to try to be a little quicker with this one because I went to keep it under 20 minutes last time, went over in like 27 minutes. So we're going to try to keep this on the shorter side. Again, personal list, movies I've seen. Let's just get to it. At number 10 was Dunkirk. Now, with Dunkirk was a unique thing for me. Dunkirk, I thought the story. It took me when I finally caught on to how Christopher Nolan was telling the story. He was telling it out of order. I'm like, no, okay, because it makes sense because he did Memento and things along those lines, and Inception, and yeah, it worked. This captured the feel of hopelessness in a dire situation in war better than I've seen a lot of movies do. And he did it on a PG-13. That's one of the impressive things Nolan did. Is that he did it on a PG-13. That I thought was impressive. All the acting's great. Kenneth Branagh, he has that great thing. Can you see it? I can see it. Was that home? And then Tom Hardy, despite the fact that you almost never see his face, he is really good as this solid pilot. It was saving it. And he ends up getting captured at the end, saving the day. It's all really good. Mark Rylance, great. Cillian Murphy, fantastic. It was just an all around good, and it was another one of those movies that really kind of gave you hope in humanity a little bit, that we were this good, we were this good rated people. So yeah, that was my number 10. Number 9, The Shape of Water, very recent addition in terms of movies I've seen this year. I meant to see Darkest Hour, but I didn't get around to it. Shape of Water. Now I had a coworker ask me this. I actually had my manager ask me this because we were doing something in one of the aisles the day before at work. It's like, who's your favorite director? And if I had to actually think on that, it'd either be Tarantino or it'd be Guillermo del Toro. And that's just because Guillermo del Toro has just got such a unique vision of how he sees the world. He sees the beauty in the ugly. He sees the artistic nature in the monstrosities. And you see that with Hellboy. You see that with Pan's Labyrinth. You see that with Pacific Rim. And you see that with Shape of Water. Shape of Water is homage to things like The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Obviously, the design's a bit Ape Sapien, but if you kind of made it more Creature of the Black Lagoon-ish. And it's a love story. When you break it, it's a love story. And it's an effective love story. These are two damaged individuals that came together through unique means. And they both can actually relate and connect to each other. And all its connections and how we deal with these connections. Oh god, what was the guy's name? Hold on. Shape of Water. Her gay friend. Her gay friend who's a not roommate, but is her a next door neighbor. Let's see. Richard Jenkins. Richard Jenkins. He was fantastic. He's got some moments in this movie that are just very, very heartbreaking, but very heartwarming at the same time. So yeah, very good. Now, one of the things that kept us from being any higher is the fact that there is, and again, I said it in the review, so go watch the review if you want to know what I'm talking about. But there is a scene. If any one of you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That is completely out of place with the overall tone of this movie. It went full on parody is the thing. It went full on spoof parody for like a solid 3 minutes. And it took me out. It took me out of the movie for a while. It was jarring for a little bit. I got back into it afterwards, but excuse me. But it was jarring. It's not like the scene's bad. It just didn't fit at all with the movie. So because of that, it only makes it a number 9 on the list. Number 8, War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, Rise of the Planet of the Apes is great. It's a great movie. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is better because it was really starting to deal with the relationships between man and ape. War for the Planet of the Apes was an accumulation of that. It pretty much brought everything to a head. And granted, the title is misleading because, one second, you need one sec. Oop, there we go. You need to go one sec. Come on, make peepees and poopies. Make peepees and poopies. We're going to chase something. War for the Planet of the Apes, while the title's misleading, there's no War for the Planet of the Apes, really dealt with, like, the true What is the evil? Is man more evil or is ape more evil? Is there evil in both of us? Is there, is there something that can overcome vengeance, or are we just doomed to repeat these things? And it really doesn't. This is, first off, the best. These are the best effects the Apes movies have had to date. But Andy Serkis, I mean, I would love for him to get like maybe a Best Actor nomination, but I know it's not going to happen. There's too many good performances this year for that to happen. But I mean, Woody Harrelson as the Crow, he was frightening, man. He was terrifying. And he has a speech about how he had to kill his own son. That is dark and horrifying and kind of sad all at once. And you realize just how messed up this individual is. But yeah, when you want to talk about real kind of race relations, basically, this is a movie that really delved into that, like internment camps and, for what is it mean for freedom? What do we deserve the same rights as them, or do they deserve the same rights as us? Really, it was a fantastic, which is beautifully well done. So number 7 is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Now, Dunkirk was great. All the movies I've said so far all have some elements to it that were great. The reason I put this on in the number 7 spot is because there's a theme that a lot of these movies this year have kind of had going with them, and that's dealing with life, dealing with grief, dealing with anger, dealing with age, dealing with time, the progression of time. This movie really captured the concept of anger, anger unchecked. Anger begets greater anger, as the line in the movie is. What happens when we basically let our anger kind of control us for a while, and the ramifications of that. Frances McDormand has probably going to get a Best Actress nomination. I would be willing to bet she's going to get a nomination for that. Woody Harrelson is fantastic in this movie. Man, he has a moment, and I'm not going to spoil it because it's still out in theaters. It's still actually pretty recent. But when his story arc is said and done in this movie, it is like the perfect way. It wraps up in such a perfect way, and a kind of really surprising way too. Like we did not see that coming at all in the movie, and yet when we watched it and we came out, we're like, no, that really did fit. I mean, it's dark. It's like a dark dramedy kind of, because it is funny at the same time. There is enough humor that you get some laughs out of there, that it's not overbearing with the heavy overtones. So it's a fantastic movie. Again, the way they deal with the concept of being controlled by anger, how we deal with our anger, and do we let that anger consume us, or can we learn to let it go? It was fantastic. It was beautiful. It was well done. So at number 6, now a lot of you might not agree with this, Star Wars: Last Jedi. Now I had to think if Star Wars was going to be. Here's the thing: I had to bump out like Wonder Woman and Thor: Ragnarok, and I love those movies. I really did enjoy them, but I had to bump those out because when I remember, it's like, wait, I really did enjoy Star Wars. I have problems with Star Wars. I've said on ad nauseum I've had problems with this movie, but when I watch it, it's still fantastic. It's still fantastic. It's beautiful. It took so many ballsy risks. And we were talking with our friend Peter when we got out of the first screen. He's like, yeah, they're not doing anything original. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I mean, it's like, look, there are tropes in movies, in Star Wars, that are going to be repeated. That's just the way it is. There are certainly elements taken from other movies. There are elements taken from Return of the Jedi. There are elements taken from like some Empire. There are some Empire Strikes Back, but at the same time, it's like, no, this felt like its own thing. The Luke, Rey, Kylo story arc is not like anything else in Star Wars, for God's sake. I don't know how you feel that's the same. Like Snoke, the throne room scene with Snoke is fantastic. For God's sake, the finale. Oh my God, it was beautiful. It was great. That movie's still on there, so I'm not going to spoil it, really anything if I can. Even things like the Porgs, which I thought were going to be annoying, and occasionally were. No, they used the Porgs really well. But again, it's themes, it's tones. In this case, it's the tones of failure. What happens when we fail? Do we just, run and hide, or can we face those failures and overcome them? And yeah, a lot of individuals fail. Luke failed. The Resistance kind of fails a bit in this movie. Kylo fails at points. Rey fails at points. Poe, Finn, they all fail, but it's not about failing. It's about how you deal with the fact you failed. Can you overcome that? And can you rise above it? And that's the thing. That's it. It's about failure and the redemption from the failure. And I think they handled that fantastic in this movie. I think that overall message was really well played out. Plus, again, it looks beautiful. It's well acted. The action sequences are fantastic. It's fun. It's funny. It's got dark moments. It's got everything. And the Kylo Ren is one of the best villains this year, hands down. So absolutely, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, I think, really deserves to be in the number 6 spot for me. So just to recap, at number 10 we have Dunkirk. Number 9, The Shape of Water. Number 8 we have War for the Planet of the Apes. Number 7 we have 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And number 6 we have The Last Jedi. Now, top 5. At number 5 we have Baby Driver. Now, say what you will because of the whole Kevin Spacey thing, and I'll be honest, I don't know how. I want to try to be objective when I watch movies again, but it is difficult when that crap went on with him. So I don't know if I can rewatch that movie again. But that being said, having watched that movie, this is some of the most fun I have had at the movies this year. When you talk about just the overall tone of a movie, is it lively? Is it energized? Is it fun? Or is it dark? As I said, this is some of the most energized movie making I've seen in a while. And you want to talk about a soundtrack that is literally the heartbeat of the movie. This movie does not work if you do not have a soundtrack going to it, particularly this soundtrack. All the music cues played perfectly with the movie. It does not work otherwise for that. It's part of who Baby's character is, this music, this rhythm, this drive, for lack of a better term. All the acting from everyone is fantastic. Freaking John Hamm stole the movie. I would have watched a movie with John Hamm just playing that character. I think that would have been awesome. Jamie Foxx is delightfully psychopathic. Kevin Spacey, being objective, he's fun and he's great in the movie too. He's intimidating. He's a fun guy. But he's got moments of it's like all right, I was in love once too. So it's a fun. It's just so much energized enjoyment. I had to put it at number 5. Number 4, Logan Lucky. Now I like heist movies. I like Ocean's 11. I think is fantastic, both of them. So I was really interested to see what this guy was going to do. I believe it's actually from the guy who did Ocean's 11, if I'm not mistaken. And you want to talk about a movie that I think got shafted a little bit, just underrated shafted. Like it came and went. I don't think anyone really gave it enough of gave it its due. I guess is the term I'm trying to use. Logan Lucky. I'm just like, okay, this looks kind of cool. I saw it. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. It's a heist movie with these mentally intelligent dudes, but they seem a little on the simple side. You Logans must be simpler than people say. It's like, people say that? They say it silent. They say, Daniel Craig stole the show for me. My God, Daniel Craig is amazing in this movie. Look, is it, okay, 20 or 30 feet. It's like 20, 30 feet. Is it 20 or is it 30? We are dealing with science here. Every time he's talking, I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I got high blood pressure. Gave me fake salt as he's eating a hard-boiled egg. My God, I loved this movie so much. And then just watching how the heist went down, how they actually successfully robbed this motor speedway. So how it went down. Well, it was almost very Guy Ritchie-esque to some degree, or Ocean's 11-y. Ocean 11 like. It was fantastic, really. I enjoyed it. I will admit the Seth MacFarlane character was a little odd. He was playing this Brit, just this rich booze maker, just Yep. Yeah, I'll get Betty Frank overdose. And yeah, on the rocks or so straight up. And you see, Adam Driver make it. By the way, the CGI work on Adam Driver's arm was pretty good because it looked like he lost an arm. But no, and then you want to talk about a movie? There's 3 movies, 4 movies that had John Denver references. 3 that actually used "Take Me Home, Country Road." But the one that did it the best, the one that did it the best technically might have been Kingsman: The Golden Circle. But the one they did the follow up was his daughter sing, because there's a scene where he's talking about why he likes just the song "Country Road," and she's doing this little Miss Talent competition, and she's got to sing "Umbrella" by Rihanna. But then she sees her dad made it, and she just starts, "Almost Heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River." I'm like, "Aww," and everyone starts singing, just like, "Aww," and I just had a smile on my face, like, "Aww, this is sweet." Take me home, country road, to the place I belong. I like that song too. It's a fine song. So it was a great movie. It was just I highly recommend it if you have not seen it. Go, treat yourself. It's a great movie. Now we're in top 3. Number 3, Battle of the Sexes. You want to talk? Emma Stone won Best Supporting Actor, I think, last year. Was it Best Supporting? Emma Stone. Hold on. She either won Best Lead or Best Supporting. I think she actually won Best Lead Actor last year. She's actually a 2-time Academy Award winner. Or at the very least, Emma Stone. Or at the very least, a nominee. Hold on. Emma Stone, IMDb. It'll give me what she's won. Here we go. Okay. Okay. She's won 1 Oscar, and she won that for La La Land last year. She was nominated for Birdman. I knew that. I knew she was nominated. She didn't win it though. Who did win it that year? Was it Arquette? Patricia Arquette, I think, for Boy. But yeah, La La Land is she won it for La La Land. And I think she has granted, this is the year where The Street Monster is in getting a critically acclaimed movie post. But I think, besides Meryl Streep, I think she has a solid shot of going 2 for 2 this year. Because when she played Billie Jean King, and yeah, she still looks like Emma Stone a little bit, but she looked like Billie Jean King. She looked like it. And you want to tell the story of a woman overcoming odds and diversity. And she was, I don't know the true story of Billie Jean King, to be fair. I don't know if she was a closeted gay woman or closeted lesbian, married to a straight man, and then opened up finally to a woman and came out. Or if she was a happily married straight woman who had always been curious about herself and then realized she was lesbian. I'm not sure if it was one way or the other. Either way, the way they portrayed her struggle through that, and how she and her dealings with Bobby Briggs, played, again, needs a Best Supporting Actor nomination. It's Steve Carell. My God, was he fantastic in the movie. First of all, the movie is not just great dramatic. It is funny. It is hilarious at points. Bobby Briggs is hilarious. And he looked, you want to talk about makeup awards. Honestly, I think Shape of Water probably deserves that. But you want to talk about best makeup or something like that? Well, no, that'd be costume design, wouldn't it? I think that'd be costume. So no, he could get makeup. That's some great makeup. They made him look like Bobby Briggs. So, the rivalry and the way they interacted with each other, it was beautifully done. You felt tragic's not the word to use. You felt the struggle going on with this woman's life. You felt the struggle she was having to go through, and then what she overcome, and eventually beating Bobby Briggs, and just, the overall triumph of that nature of what she did. And it was great, well paced. Sarah Silverman, by the way, is also in the movie, and she's fantastic. I loved Sarah Silverman in this. It's like, you can't beat her. Why? Because I'm a Jew, or because I'm a woman, or because I'm a Jew? It's like, both. No, they didn't say that, but I'm certain that was what's going through their head. It was great. And Bill Pullman as the dickhead of like I can't remember exactly what it was. And he was he played Dick great. He just played pure dick ass. I will call it just pure ass. Great, fantastic. So yeah, it was a fantastic. That easily is my number 3. Number 2 goes to Coco. Now you want to talk about a movie that is a gut punch to me. You want to talk about a movie that hit me where I lived. First off, Coco looks beautiful. The songs are fantastic. I am running low on battery power, so we're going to do something I almost never do anymore. We're going to do a tracking shot, folks, and we're moving. We'll talk when we move. So you want to talk about a movie that hit me where I lived, that hit me right in my emotional center, right in my core. Coco is the one that it was the only movie I think I cried a little. There were tears going down my eyes. I didn't like full on just, I did do that second time viewing in the car afterwards. I needed a moment to kind of just, vent my emotions. Because the movie is about, I mean, when you really break it down, the movie is about it's about family and being there for your family, being there through the good, through the bad, through and trusting and understanding that yes, dreams, it's important to be who you are and follow your dreams, but sometimes family outranks that. Family is more important sometimes than your dreams. Now it all works out in the end, obviously, for the character. He gets to follow his dreams and his family's happy and all that. But you know what? I mean, that's a real message to send to kids. Like, look, your dreams can be important to you. Never forget your family should be honestly one of the most important things to you. Never forget that your family loves you. I mean, I hope your family loves you. If your family doesn't love you, I'm sorry. But then also, the music is fantastic. Oh my God, the music is gorgeous. A couple songs that stood out to me. Obviously, Remember Me. Not the Ernesto de Cruz one, but the one, okay, we'll get to that, because that's the thing I'm going to really touch on. But the, and again, I went over 20 minutes. But like the El Boco Loco, that one was great. The song he's singing to his buddy, right before he fades away, that was a fun little song. I mean, the song is Senorita, Senorita, Senora, Senora. When he's singing, the music is Mi Familia or something like that. I can't remember exactly the song. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to the soundtrack when I'm done doing this video. But no, the scene, oh my God, the scene, it gets me still every time I've seen it. The scene where, because it gets explained, I'm not going to spoil it because it's still on theaters. It's great. Go see it. Absolutely. But essentially, Coco's father, Coco is actually his grandmother. The actual name of the movie is based off his grandmother. Coco's father is the one that he's going to get his blessing from, all that. Anyway, he wrote the song for Coco, the Remember Me. So there's a scene near the end. So this is going to be a little spoiler, minor spoiler, where he starts singing it to her, and she starts singing along with him. But that alone is very nice. But it's how they did the scene, how everything's been building up, how they did the scene with her, how she's old, she's very old, and she's doesn't have a lot of time left, obviously, and she's forgetting things, and she's kind of a little senile, but still there. But it's just how they did it, how she kind of comes back to life and then starts saying, I'm like, oh man, oh man. I'm like, oh my God, there's something in my eyes. Tears. It was so beautiful, man. It was great. It was fantastic. It was gorgeous. I loved Coco. I loved it. It is my second favorite movie of the year, or second best movie of the year, but it is not my first. Now, if anyone has been watching me a little while now, you might be able to guess what my number 1 movie is. But just to recap, number 10 was Dunkirk. Number 9 was Shape of Water. Number 8 was War for the Planet of the Apes. Number 7 was 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Number 6 was Star Wars The Last Jedi. Number 5 was Baby Driver. Number 4 was Logan Lucky. Number 3 was Battle of the Sexes. Number 2 was Coco. And the number 1 best movie to me of the year is Logan. Logan to me is the best movie of the year. What's the best way to put this? To be relevant in the genre that is still relevant, don't get me wrong, but to stand out, be something relevant and unique in a genre that is is so saturated at the moment. Don't get me wrong, it's not oversaturated, but we got a saturated genre in a superhero movie. To be this hard, gritty, hard-hitting Western, basically in the vein of Unforgiven. Unforgiven, Shane, those were a lot of it. Dealing with some hard, like I talked about themes earlier in the video, dealing with some hard truths, getting old, knowing your time may be coming to an end. How do we spend the time we have? How do we pass on what we know? Can we pass on what we know? Can we make ourselves relevant? And can we do something worthwhile with what we have remaining? Can we be who we are? Can we be the icons we are looked at? Just so many themes going through. It's balanced beauty. There's hardcore moments in this movie. People die in this movie, man. But there are moments where you're laughing your ass off. There's moments where you get a solid laugh. The action sequences, my God, that scene in the hotel, that scene where with Logan and Professor X in the hotel, when Professor X is having a seizure, that is one of the best scenes of the entire movie, man. I think when I did my top 10 list, I think that might have ranked it number 2. That scene is awesome. I mean, the climax is fantastic. Patrick Stewart, this may have been one of the best performances he's ever given in his career. He is phenomenal. This is some of the best acting I've seen out of Hugh Jackman, period. Look, I'm not saying he will get a best. I think I've heard whispers or I've heard inklings that Patrick Stewart may really get a best supporting actor nomination, and I think he deserves it. Whether he wins it or not, who knows, but he deserves it. I would also give an argument that Hugh Jackman should get a nomination for Logan. Now, are there other people who did far better? Absolutely, and I think Gary Oldman's honestly going to win it. But I'd still think, give Hugh Jackman maybe a nomination for that. I think he could honestly get a nomination for that, and it could be earned. Daphne Keane, X-23, nearly stole the movie. It was unbelievable how they were able to integrate her in. And then again, the end of that movie, when you really break it down, and the movie's been out now for near a year, so spoilers. When Logan is breathing his final breaths, when he dies. And when they have that funeral and she's quoting Shane and she tilts the cross into an X to symbolize X-Men, you realize like, wow, this is the end. This is literally the end of an era. Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart were the only people from the original cast reprising their roles still up until this point. They were the only ones coming back. Hugh Jackman had been playing his character longer than anyone has played a character ever. Since 2000. For 17 years, he had been playing Logan, Wolverine. No other actor has had a run like that ever. Not Sean Connery as James Bond. Well, actually, Sean Connery as James Bond technically. Because if you want to count Never Say Never Again, he played it in the early 60s. Nope, no, he hadn't. Because that was like early 80s. And I think Dr. No came out like 67 or something, or 66. So even if that were the case, like maybe 15 years, no other actor can say that they were reprising their role that long. And then when you realize that he gave us the best, like Carrie Fisher did in The Force Awakens, he gave us the best. He saved the best for last. Logan is, for me, the best movie of 2017, bar none. But you may disagree. That's cool. No two lists are going to be the same. Well, statistically speaking, there might be, but you know what I mean. The majority of the time, no two lists are going to be the same. Let me know what your best movies are. Let me know what your worst movies were. Put in the comments below. Let's have fun little conversations about this. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll get to do a review of it at some point. I just would win, Star Wars, Superhero Magic, what if, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to it at some point. Trying to think if I know I'll do a video tomorrow. I don't know when I'll get to the what ifs again. I'll get to the what ifs at some point. I know who ones will be later today, but I'm gonna take a break from the videos for a while, upload these, and take a break, get a shower, and eat something, relax. Until then, though, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Might as well just get this to the full-on 30-minute mark since I did that. I meant to do it to 20-minute, but I didn't. I really gotta learn to either edit these videos or just shorten my opinions a bit. Dragon Ball Super this weekend. Box office, obviously. If I get around to it, I'll do a what if. But right now, the what ifs aren't really a high priority for me. I know people like the what ifs. I do, and I will get to them again. It is what it is. Sorry about that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you folks next time.